Okay, this is my second weekend with our new charting system at work. I'm not really sure where to even begin or how to sum up this day. I took a lunch today. I've been a nurse for 29 years and never worked in the hospital in all that time, except for the last 3.5 years. And I did a few shifts in the hospital in those years. Anyways, nothing compares to the amount of work that it just keeps adding and adding and adding to the shoulders of nurses. And even in the 3.5 years that I've been here, the amount of work has only increased more and more and more. Nothing is being subtracted from us. At the hospital I work, it's very common lately that there is no transporter, which means someplace way across the other side of the hospital, it's kind of a long haul, like MRI or the ultrasound department or CAT scan department. I'm way up on the 3rd floor. I have 6 patients. They all need stuff all the time. It's so many medicines. It's too much dressing changes. Antibiotics, antibiotics, everything, etc., etc., etc. I get a text today. Can I bring down the patient for the MRI? Because they have no transporter. We've got 2 techs and they're both completely inundated with work. And I said, I don't know. I'll try to work something out. But it's like they expect me to just leave the floor. This patient she was gone for like an hour and a half or even longer for those procedures, those tests. So and you're supposed to stay with the patient. So I mean, I don't have words for this. It's like, how do you expect me to leave the floor I'm on when I have 6 patients for what? As I start to talk about it, I'm like, I don't have words for how fucking stupid this is. Nobody wants to work for this hospital. Nobody wants to work in healthcare. It's so abusive and it's so much work. The transporters don't get paid that well. This person left to go make cakes at Publix, and he's making more than a transporter at the hospital, and loves his job. It's laid back, it's fun, it's engaging, it's lighthearted. Hospital where I work is just a true hellhole. It's a new charting system, and there's a guy there that's, this person that's appointed to our floor to help all of us figure out the charting stuff. And who knows what he thinks watching the nurses run around. The nurses are so fucking stressed and oh my God, like all the time, because it's so much on us from every angle. Everything is stat. Do it now. I mean, these doctors walk on the floor with all the residents and students, and then they just put all these orders in, and they love to put stat behind them. And I get it. If a person's in a serious condition, things need to happen right now, but there's no such thing as stat to bring someone to an MRI when there's no transporter, and I can't leave the floor. There's no way. One of my patients' blood pressure shot way up high. What am I supposed to do? Just be like, oh, I'll treat that whenever I get back. But so I know this guy is probably making double, or at least 1.5 times what I make. This guy that's helping us learn this new charting system. And, he's very chill, and he's helping people here and there, with lots of time, lots of downtime to sit if someone's not flipping out trying to do something on the computer. And all 6 of us nurses are just running like wild dogs. And I'm so mentally fried right now. It doesn't help that the night before I go into my shift, after I've had some days off, I can't sleep. I can't sleep no matter what. And I realized last night I'm not mentally scared about going into the job. I'm not mentally worried about the job, but my body obviously knows to ramp up. It must, because I can't sleep. And I'm lucky when I get 1.5 to 2 hours the night before I go in after some days off. Tonight, by the grace of God, I pray, I'll sleep. So not having sleep does not help. However, and the attitude is, okay, so she was just praising, our charge nurse was just praising this guy helping us with all this charting. And I mean, I got really triggered by it. And I'm like, does anybody ever praise the nurse? Does anybody fucking ever praise the nurse for the amount of stuff we do? I mean, it's way more than just doing all the orders and the drugs and the drips and the pain medicine and the wound care and all the assessments. It's way more than that, because you walk in, I got to go to the bathroom, and you're like, fuck, I don't have time for this. Well, I'm hurting. Then you go try to go get pain medicine. Well, there's nothing orders. You have to call the doctor. And then they sometimes break down. They start talking about their life. And then they start talking about how when they go home, they have no one to help them. And it's just like endless psychosocial stuff going on in addition to everything else. So the attitude is like, nursing in the hospital is just it's such an abusive environment. They gaslight you. So if you ever say anything about, like, I was losing my shit today, and I was like, God dang it, I fucking can't handle this. And my charge nurse would be like, oh, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, we're all stressed. And I realize the person it's coming from is someone that's maybe she's not that mentally healthy. She's been a nurse, I think, for 43 years. But no one ever validates your feelings. They all say to you, well, that's just nursing, or, just do the best you... No, they don't even say do the best you can. They say, well, we're all busy, or it'll be over soon, or... No one ever looks at the fact that more and more is dumped on our shoulders. It's almost fucking humanly impossible to do all this. Physically, it's just physically impossible to do it, let alone all the other shit, like the emotional stuff and all this other stuff that's going on. And then the basic needs of the body. There's never enough techs on the floor. All the techs are burnt out, and so they don't want to go take them to the bathroom. I'm thinking, that's your fucking job. Do that one thing for me, because I have so many other things. But they gaslight you. They all be like, well, how can you manage your time better? And I'm thinking, bitch, I manage my time like a ninja. I mean, I am incredible with time management. Don't even bring that up as a problem that I might have. And so that always happens. And then the nurses have a personality, I've noticed, where they have to prove some childhood story that they can handle abusive stuff and they can make it through it. It's like some kind of a story. You're trying to prove, like, I can handle this. And instead of a nurse just going, look, this is ridiculous. You solve this problem here or I'm out. Period. And I don't feel like being out and going to any other area of nursing. Like, I don't want to be a nurse at all. I don't want to work in the medical field. I don't want to do anything. I don't know of what kind of a professional. I have a 4-year degree. I have to have, my license that I have to pay for, which is not cheap. I have to do constant continuing education. And through my job, I have to do constant fucking computer classes, certifications, constantly, all the time. Constantly required. So yeah, my brain is fried trying to record this video, and it's like, what other kind of professional gets run like this? My brother has a 4-year degree. He doesn't have a license. He doesn't have to do continuing education. And well, let's say he's 30 years into his profession, just like me. I'm 29 years into it. He makes $1 million a year, $1 million plus. Because I cannot handle working full time in this job. I make $50,000 a year. maybe 56 now. So somebody would say, well, look, if you doubled your hours, then you could make over $100,000 a year. But I mean, tell me who the fuck can do that at 55? So, I mean, I got people coming back from surgery. I got people going to surgery, people coming back from surgery. I got people that they think is like septic. I got people that are possibly having a stroke. Someone who had a total hysterectomy that I have to walk in the halls because nobody else will do it. It's just motherfucker. It's absolutely impossible. All the while needing to assess for any potential problems that might be arising. And I don't have time. I had no time to read about any of my patients. Nothing. I couldn't read any of their scans, any of their exams. I couldn't read any doctor's notes. And not because I didn't manage my time well. I managed my time brilliantly. There's just so much to do. Vital signs in the mornings, passing all the meds, assessments, wound care change. More and more medicines added, more and more medicines added. You got to go do it again. Call lights on in the bathroom, pain, nausea, wound care dressings, taking pictures, talking to the doctors, talking to the residents, talking to physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, the MRI techs, the CAT scans, the x-ray techs, the laboratory. Fucking everybody comes to me, and I'm just like, leave me the fuck alone. I can barely do my work. And yeah, there seems to be no celebration for nurses at all. This is why nurses want to be paid more. But at some point, the pay becomes a mute point when you're treated so horribly. It breaks you. It completely breaks you. Last week, after my two-day shift at the hospital and the weekend with the new charting system, my body was in a freeze state. My nervous system was completely shut down for 4 days. I did all the stuff I have to do, all the whatever you want to call them, the errands and all the responsibilities. I did all that. Did a couple of self-care items. And then by the evening, I mean, I'm sitting on the couch, just vegging in front of the TV. Because and the whole day, I feel like I'm pulling myself through what feels like the flu. It's not the flu. I didn't catch anything from a patient. I didn't, whatever. I'm completely run down. If you could just walk by and look at the nurses' faces. So anyways, so this kind of an adrenaline spike is actually an addictive process, I noticed, and I've done some reading on it too. And that's like, it's like, your body becomes addicted to that. A mentor told me that the body becomes addicted to that intensity and drama, and it's born out of fear. The body knows that feeling of fear, of not being enough, not getting it, go. And they say that people usually who get hooked on that stuff or are drawn to that or stay with that are people who had the primary feeling of fear when they were children, and that would have been me. That would have been because of my home life. So I'm walking down the stairs as I'm leaving, and this one girl who just became an RN, she was an LPN for years, but then she got her RN, and she's working on the PCU floor, which is a step-down unit from the ICU. The worst floor in the hospital, because these people should kind of be in ICU, but they kind of don't have the beds, so they kind of just stable enough. They got to push them to the PCU. Well, ICU, you're supposed to have 2 patients to 1. Well, PCU, you're supposed to have 4 patients to 1, but it's usually 5. It's always 5. And so it's absolute pure hell. So we're walking down the stairs together. She's super young. I know she loves being a nurse. And then she said as we were parting, she says, well, what'd she say? It's just a good feeling when you know you made it through it. And I thought, what the fuck kind of satisfaction is it that I'm getting this feeling of like I survived? It's like the little child in me that survived abuse or survived of tough situation. Like everything in life is something to survive, to make it through, not to thrive or to have joy in or play or fun. And I thought, gosh, I am chemically, psychologically hooked on this intensity and drama. And honestly, before I started this job, this mentor of mine, I completely flipped out when I started this job, and I was literally admitted to the hospital floor 2 months later with sky high blood pressure. They thought I was having a possible heart attack. It was all from stress, just unbelievable stress. And he said to me, your body's saying no to this because you have detoxed off of the intensity and drama in your life. And I had made a switch in my life where even at Trader Joe's, it's where I was working, the responsibility is absolutely nothing. It's really nothing, especially compared to being a nurse. But I had learned how to just play and roll with stuff and have a good time, still work. I was always been a hard worker, but just kind of keep it light and have fun. And it's more about being joyful. And that company actually celebrates that and encourages that, well, whatever you're doing, it's great that you get it done, but if you can't do it joyfully, we don't kind of want you working here. We want you to feel joyful at your job. So even if not everything gets done, as long as you're joyful and you're engaging with the customers and you're happy, they prefer that. And it creates this wonderful vibe. But the hospital is the absolute opposite of that. And that's why my body just went through this crisis state trying to adapt to this. And my old patterns, it has been, when something is so horrible, you don't leave it. You try to master it. You survive. You try to control it. It's all twisted up. And I walked out of that hospital after talking to that girl, and I just thought, I don't want to do this kind of work anymore. Is this a cop? What the fuck? Oh my God, there's an accident. Oh, God bless this person. I hope they're not injured. What the fuck? Oh, there's nobody in the car. You know, you just become hard. You become really hard and really direct, really short. And at the same time, I can still be loving and kind and sensitive and sing with my patients. But it's just the most toxic environment ever. And I left the hospital and I thought, I don't want to do this. It's not that I can do it. It's killing me though. The stress is killing me, but I don't want to do this anymore. Not with the rest of the life that I have. It's just so fucking toxic. I'm home. I'm gonna shower off the karmic cooties and sleep, hopefully.